Hello and welcome to another edition of Midmo Yo. So today, guys, I'm actually going to do a little something different. I've been thinking of a couple of stories that happened the last time I played craps. Actually, it was at the Ameristar in Missouri, Midmo Yo. That's why it's called Midmo Yo, which is about 2.5 hours away from where I live. So it's a little bit of a drive, but I got to tell you, I was kind of shocked. It was a $25 table. I wasn't expecting to do $25 bets, but I I did pretty good actually. I was quite excited, of course. But three things happened, and those three things are what I want to talk to you about today. And I would really love maybe your feedback as well on one in particular thing that happened. So today, all I'm going to do is I'm going to Vegas in about a month. So I'm just going to sit here and practice throwing a little bit and tell you a story. Three separate little stories that happened in one session of me standing at a table. So let's start here. I usually like the sixes. So first thing, actually, before I start throwing, let me say something here. I've got these uh, buttons, dealer buttons for the buys and lays and on and off buttons. That was actually a suggestion from Mike at On Point Craps. He was a very nice person when I was talking to him and asking him about his, and he sent me in the right direction. They came in the other day, so I was really excited about that. So I wanted to give Mike the props for that, as well as saying he's got a lot of great content on his videos. So if you wanted to go over there and subscribe to him as well, tell him that Midmoyo sent you. But thank you, I appreciate it, Mike. Um, let's get started with this. I'm gonna toss here really quick. And hey, look there, first one, a yo. That's perfect. One of my favorite numbers. Actually, it's kind of funny, guys. It's not just because I live in Missouri that I call it Mimo Yo. I actually happen to throw a lot of 11s for some reason. I don't know why. So one of the very first things that happened when I went at the Ameristar was I I'm not really a dice setter or a controller that throws them. I do like a certain way that the dice, and I feel, but I don't have a landing zone. I don't do any of that stuff. So um, I started throwing, and I probably was not expecting the table to be as bouncy as it was. And there was I would say shortly after it was my roll, out of five rolls, I ended up overshooting the table, not overshooting, but it would bounce and then one of the dice would jump off the end of the table. The funny thing was, and I know that's not a great thing, and I thought it was funny because just recently, right before that, somebody else had did that, and he called same dice, and so immediately when that happened, I just instinctively said same dice, and uh, but it was actually kind of funny because the dealers were actually really cool about it. In fact, the dealers were fantastic at this casino. They were really cool, very helpful, really friendly, very active with everybody that was around the table. Um, it was the players. They were getting really pissed off at me. I was shocked at it, actually. I was really shocked at the fact that, it wasn't necessarily that I was taking up too much time or whatever. It was the superstition factor of it. And it was three in particular players. There was about eight of us around. Um, Three in particular players that really took it to heart, and were starting to get upset. And I even told them, I was like, guys, I'm sorry. So what do you say? But but that was just one of the things that happened, and I know it is a superstitious thing, but gosh, some tables are bouncy, some tables are not. So I just found it kind of funny. So that was first story. Second story, guys, is one that, well, I would really like your opinion on this one because I don't know if this is actual etiquette or not. So this would be very helpful. So I was rolling. I'm sorry, I was not rolling, but I happened to have $4, and I'm going to just show you. I had $4 on the hard ways, all four of them. And I actually, when the shooter was shooting, there was probably about, I would say, 10 rolls, maybe 15 rolls that he did. But I won twice on the hard ways. After my second win, I decided, because the point was still on, let's say it was 6, I don't know what it was. I decided, you know what, I'm getting pretty lucky on the hard way, so why don't I put $4 more on there and double up my bet? Now, obviously, that is allowed. I know that for a fact because the dealers took my bet. But the same 3 players that were very serious about their game, by the way, they did not like it. In fact, did not like it to the point where one of them decided to turn his bets off. And he started talking to the other player, and he was saying, well, watch, the 7's going to come up now, because something along them lines. I mean, I didn't hear exactly what he said, but I could get the gist. So this is my question, guys. Is this something where it should not be done? Doubling up your bet? I know it happens on the numbers, right? I mean, we all do it. We press, we regress, we do all kinds of stuff with the numbers up here. Why was it so superstitious, a superstitious problem to do what I did there? I am not clear on that. I have not heard anybody tell me anything like that before, and it just so happened to happen to me. So I would really love your input on that one. And the third thing, guys, that happened, this one was really kind of crazy. I kind of get it, but it was pretty funny. So the table was pretty full. The guy that was sitting next to me, standing next to me, he was one of the guys who was really serious. And he ended up getting, he was really close to me on my right-hand side. I had a little bit of space on my left-hand side, and then there was another player. I happened to notice that there was somebody behind me that was waiting to get in. The guy that was to the right of me, we still had a little bit of space, but not enough space for, another player to get in. So I was, guys, let me tell you, I started out with 3 blacks. That's what I walked on the table with. And of course I got change, played this whole time that all this stuff happened. And I literally walked away. This is what I started with. I walked away with 9 blacks and 3 greens. And then at the end, I tipped the dealers a quarter. So I did really, really good on this table. It was very lucky the dice were going my way. But this is what happened with this individual. This guy wanted to come in. I turned and looked at him and I said, hey, buddy, you want to get in? And he said, oh, I can wait. And, everybody was having a really good time. Some of us, I guess, were having a good time. But so I ended up saying, well, I'll squeeze over just a little bit. And I picked up my chips on my rack and I moved them over literally one spot, just one spot. It put me a little bit closer to the guy that was next to me, but it gave enough room between me and the guy to my left side to let this guy in. Wow. That was not good. And I got to tell you, I even saw the dealer's face. You could tell that they were like, oh crap, something was up. Guys, to me, I didn't think anything of it. I was having a good time. To me, the more the merrier kind of a situation. But the three gentlemen that were very serious about their game, they decided it was not good at all. Um, I already started hearing whispers, and then all of a sudden, when the guy gets in there, one of them turns his bets off, and I looked at the guys and I said, "Y'all, the dice don't have ears, okay?" Now, why did I open my mouth? Because I pick up the dice and throw them, and what do you think happened, right? I mean, it was the obvious thing that happened. Big Red happens. Right at that moment, the guy who stands next to me, who I let in, he doesn't even start betting. He picks up his chips and walks away. The guys that were upset, one of them who happens to be across the table from me, he's yelling across the table at me, yelling, "Why'd you move?" And I told him, just like I told you, the more the merrier. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to start anything. The guy that was right next to me, he goes, "Huh, I guess the dice do have ears, don't they?" I immediately colored up and I walked away, and I found my beautiful wife who was gambling on a 3-card poker table and was winning amazingly on that table too. So it was a great night. Kind of a funny little stories that happened all at one time on one session at a craps table. But I would love your info about this part, the hard ways, guys. That one stunned me a little bit. I really was not sure. I think it's okay, and maybe it's just a superstitious thing. I don't know. So if anybody else knows, that would be very appreciative to let me know. Also, if you could, it's a big help. Everyone knows this with watching all the videos. Like, share, subscribe. It's awesome if you do. I love being part of this community right now. Everybody has been so helpful, so nice. So I love the idea of continuing on, and doing stuff like that actually helps. Also, comment below. That is obviously, I just asked a question, so commenting is going to be how I get those answers. But that is a big reason why I started this channel, is to interact with people and talk to them about certain situations. I will eventually start doing strategies, my favorites, the ones that have worked, the ones that have not worked, as well as watching new strategies to try out and see how those goes. By the way, if you see something different about my craps table, that is because it is how I turn my crapless craps table into a regular craps table. So all I have to do is cover those up, and it becomes a regular craps table. But guys, that's all I wanted to say. If you have any questions, or if you have answers about that hard ways bet, let me know. And once again, I do appreciate you stopping by and listening to me talk. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Once again, this is Midmo Yo, and we'll see you next time.